Hello and welcome to the Crafter's Toolbox. This time we're looking at an organic embossing technique that utilizes watercolor and embossing powder. I've done this technique in the past with clear embossing powder on vellum, but I wanted to show the more uh, the more dynamic way that this looks when you used watercolor paper, a color, and colored embossing powder. So this is very simple to do. You just need watercolor paper, a piece of plastic or a craft mat, your ink, uh, uh, watercolor pen, or you can use just a regular brush and water. You need your embossing powder and your heat gun. So first step is to just get some ink onto your craft mat. You don't need very much because you're looking for a splotched effect. We don't want this to be covering all over the place. So you can see that I've not added a lot of water here. What I'm looking for is a splotched effect. So trying to spread this out pretty far so I get lots of bubbling on the mat, and that's pretty good. Then I want to set up my space here so I can get the embossing powder onto the panel as soon as possible. And I'm going to dump it onto here. I may or may not put it back into the bin, just depending on how wet this gets. So I'm just going to take this and lay it into my ink. I'm not using any anti-static powder because you want it to land kind of organically. So I'm just going to put that in and see that's good enough. If I wanted to add some more, I certainly could. That's even cooler. But while it is still wet, you do not want to dry this. I'm going to get some embossing powder over this and get it to stick. And see how that's stuck on there? Now, if I want to have less, I would just flick it a little bit to get some of the extra off. And that's pretty good. So you're going to see the blue below, and then this is going to turn into copper. So now we can just heat this up. Of course, it's going to stick because we've got water that's keeping the embossing powder in place. So there it is. You can see how that embossing powder stuck to the watercolor and how that just really brings out the color behind it. It brings out the organic look, and it's really a wow technique that's quite simple to do. I hope you enjoyed this technique that you can add to your crafter's toolbox. I'd love to see it. If you try it sometime soon, please post your picture out on my Facebook page or anywhere out in social media and tag it #PMRetreat, and I will find you and share it with my audience. I'd always love to see what you make. I hope to see you again at another crafter's toolbox soon, but until next time, happy crafting.